The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Mike, can you close the door for me?
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad. Welcome to Liberated Sisters right here at Morris Media Studios. Oh my God, we have a great show for you today. Our guest, Sister Beatrice X of the Love Not Blood campaign. She's going to be talking about the support, the guidance, the care, the love that she and her husband, Cephas Uncle Bobby Johnson, co-founder also of Love Not Blood campaign, give to families of loved ones who have been killed in police violence as well as by vigilantes. But let's not get it twisted. They wrap their arms around all people affected by violence. They don't leave any families out. I would like to say today's show is brought to us by Dr. Akil Bashir and the Professional Community Intervention Training Institute. This show comes in the line of Women in Islam. It is a series that was produced, books written by the great, beautiful mother, Tainetta Muhammad, intelligent wife of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So that's our show for today. We're going to be taking your calls for Sister Beatrice. Again, I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad. Welcome to Liberated Sisters. And now, the Justice Report. In today's Justice Report, it is focusing on the Nation of Islam and Minister Louis Farrakhan, specifically Netflix, the multimedia streaming conglomerate which promised and contracted to carry and debut Minister Farrakhan's documentary of his life through music, Let's Change the World. It is a 44 box set dealing with Minister Farrakhan's music from all genres. He is a violinist, for those who don't know. Minister Farrakhan is a violinist, and so his box set includes voices of Shaka Khan, the artistry rather, Stevie Wonder, Tina Marie, Stephanie Mills, Snoop Dogg, Common, many others. And you can find out more about that at lctw.com. But let's talk about real quick the Nation of Islam's official statement on the Netflix cancellation, because there was a call for boycotts. Many of the followers of Minister Farrakhan and others immediately boycotted Netflix. The Nation put out a statement, and I would like to read it to you. August 1st, it was delivered. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan produced a documentary entitled My Life's Journey Through Music. As late as July 30, 2018, Netflix published that this documentary would be coming August 1st on its media platform. On July 31st, everybody, that was less than 24 hours before the airing of the documentary, the Nation of Islam became aware through news and online outlets. Let's just think about that, first of all. That's how it became aware that it would not air. Through news and online outlets, that Netflix decided not to air it due to internal communication. Internal miscommunication. The Nation of Islam has not been informed of what was the alleged internal miscommunication. The timing of Netflix's decision at the 11th hour to cancel the airing of the documentary affected millions of potential viewers and raises more questions than answers. In light of this untimely sequence of events, did Netflix bow to outside forces in canceling the airing of the documentary? Did media pressure contribute to this result? What do the opponents of truth not want you to learn about Minister Farrakhan? That is the key question. Those are key questions. You can find out more in this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper, finalcall.com. Our editor-in-chief, Richard Muhammad, has an editorial there, and you can also get your subscription to the Final Call while you're there. We have an online site. So thank you so much, Brother Richard, Nation of Islam. Above all, thank you, Minister Farrakhan, for giving us the gift of your life through music. I got mine. It is wonderful. I encourage you to pick up yours. That's our Liberated Sisters Justice Report. And now to our guest, Sister Beatrice X. Sister Beatrice, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, ma'am, Sister Charlene Muhammad.
How are you doing, sis?
I'm fine by Allah's mercy and grace, and I want to first thank you. I am humbled by your invitation for me to be on your beautiful show, Liberated Sisters, and I thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for allowing us both to be free to do God's will.
Please say that. That is absolutely right, because we do work on his behalf in the mission, Sister Beatrice, if you could hold, I just want to play a little promo, if we could, from Let's Change the World, so people can just get a little snippet of it. This is Minister Farrakhan in his own voice, and again, you can go to the website and order that. If we take the money, those who have boycotted Netflix, slide your money there. Just purchase it for yourselves, and you can have the entire viewing, not of that documentary, but you can hear the music for yourselves. And there's also a reflections. There's a 1 hour DVD set of reflections. I was going to play that today, but I decided to talk about what's happening with Love Not Blood. But can we play that? All right, here it comes, everybody. Stay tuned, Beatrice.
My album. It's an album that speaks from the pain of the heart of a little boy wanting to see his people free.
Yeah, this is Big Snoop Dogg coming at you live and direct.
This is a project that attracted some of the most brilliant, award-winning musicians and artists.
Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa, let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Brother, what will you discover if we come together and do it like we never? I'm just sick and tired. I'm fit to light the fire. Now put this on the wire. The devil is a liar.
Yes, go to lctwmusic.com, lctwmusic.com to make your order. Sister Beatrice?
Yes, ma'am. I actually have mine as well. I was so excited when it came.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
And yes, I have mine.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. I really am going to buy another one. I didn't want to open it. I'm not spooky, but this is something that's really cherished. I think I posted about it when Minister Farrakhan turned 80, and he invited the entire Nation of Islam to headquarters to Mas Mariam to view a sneak preview of it. I was ill. I was not in really a good shape at all, but I had to be there, and I'm so glad I was able to go. There's a lot of wealth and spirituality. I mean, I don't think this is not just music. Right, Sister Beatrice? This is not just music. I think, as a matter of fact, when I was reflecting on it the other day, when I saw that Netflix had canceled, first I verified it because I saw it first on Fox, a Fox News article, and I was saying, oh, well, better check this out. Because people can put out adverse propaganda to try to stop everyone, and they'll say, oh, it's not running? Okay, never mind, I won't go there. But I checked it out and kept checking out, and it turned out to be true. But one thing I thought about was, this is not just music. To me, it's scripture.
Right.
To me, this is scripture coming through this album. But go ahead, Sister Beatrice, your
Yes,
reflection on that, and then we'll transition to Love Not Blood.
Well, it is just what you said, and when mine came in, actually we were taking a family trip down south, and I actually took the case with me. It was so nerve-wracking. I said I would not do that again, because I just would have if something would have happened to that on that trip, you have all these people in this 7-passenger SUV.
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
I was so nervous, but I did get to play it on my turn to drive, going through Allah's majesty, driving through His Majesty in the wee hours. It was so beautiful. And it did just what you said. It's a spiritual healing. It's a spiritual empowerment, knowing that what we have been taught in the coming of Master Farah Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan, how we can just stand on that. And when we get weak, if we read the Quran and prayed and that's not enough, we can put that on and roll with the time.
That's right. That's right. Sister Beatrice, you look so beautiful. I got to tell you. I miss you, sister.
I miss you as well, my sister.
Yeah. So Love Not Blood campaign, I want you to take us through the timeline of that up through today. I know it's a long history in the making for Love Not Blood, and we won't cover everything. But I asked Sister Beatrice to come on in this Women of Islam tribute in dedication to Mother Tynetta, because to me you come in the line of Mother Tynetta. Mother Tynetta, her work was in the universe, really, but she traveled the earth to learn, and in her learnings also uplift and help our people. And she focused also specifically on the women. And Sister Beatrice is a Muslim activist. I started covering her through the final call, but we also grew a great bond of sisterhood. My heart just warmed for how she takes care of family. She and Uncle Bobby, when their nephew Oscar Grant III was killed, and by the way, they met, she and Uncle Bobby, in the movement and grew a bond and a love there. But when Oscar Grant III was killed, and in watching how she cared for Miss Wanda, how she and student minister Keith Muhammad at Mosque 26B were right there at the family side. The love that Minister Farrakhan has for us and our people and mankind poured out through them. I saw it. I witnessed it with my own eyes. I'm flashing back to it now, Sister Beatrice. That was just one of many times witnessing you all's care. So talk about how Love Not Blood campaign came to be, and just some of the victories that you all have had, even as we recognize that the victories are small, because the bottom line is people are killed and have been killed, and families are suffering from police violence and vigilante violence.
Yes. First, I want to say it's been a journey. If we count Love Not Blood campaign from July 14, 2014, which is when it was established, we're at 4 years, right? Yeah. But if we go about it and count the root of Love Not Blood campaign, it came from the Oscar Grant Foundation when my husband, Cephas Uncle Bobby X, founded the Oscar Grant Foundation in honor of his nephew, Oscar Grant. Yes. And one of the first acts that was done was a letter writing campaign. And so we worked together on that. And after that, he asked me, would I be the director of the foundation? Yes. So I was honored, because I had been in the movement. So I was honored to do that. So we actually ran the Oscar Grant Foundation for 4 years. And then the 4th year, he felt like his sister, my sister-in-law, Wanda Johnson, had her voice. That was her son. And that legacy should be governed and moved the way that she wants it for her son. And so he gifted the Oscar Grant Foundation after 4 years of sacrificing and working. And, we did it for Oscar, we did it for his mother, and we did it for his beautiful daughter, Tatiana. And so on July 14th, he gifted the Oscar Grant Foundation to Wanda Johnson. And on July 14th, we started the Love Not Blood campaign foundation. So we're now 8 years out from the work that we began with the Oscar Grant Foundation. And in Love Not Blood campaign, we actually continued the work that was done in the Oscar Grant Foundation, but we also brought in more, like Uncle Bobby is the founder of Families United for Justice, where we have been able and blessed with other families to come together. And this is our 2nd year, was this year, and we held it in Smoking Choking, No Joke, in Oakland. And it was absolutely fabulous. Allah blessed us because Love Not Blood campaign actually hosted the conference.
Yeah.
And Allah blessed us for our supporters for all these years to support us and help us. We were able to feed the families for 2 days, Friday, Saturday, both days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We were able to get a bus for them to go to see San Francisco. We had a beautiful visual at the lake where Becky thought she could call the police. This barbecuing, right?
Barbecue Becky.
Yes,
called the police
Becky.
on the brothers that were barbecuing out
Right.
there, and then the next
And so
next
all
few
the
weeks,
families were there.
Yeah.
In memory of it. It was such a beautiful thing, and we say all praises due to Allah, all glory to God. You know, and we were just very grateful, and all the families had a beautiful time. And it's not really easy because a lot of people come in and they may see an opportunity, they see a family and they think they're going to get in, but you got to be so careful with these families. They are so very, very fragile.
Yes, ma'am.
That you have to be so careful with them, and we try to be so very careful with the families because of their pain. You know, and me personally, I haven't lost a child, and I pray Allah that is not my story in life, but you know Allah does as He please. But you can't tell people how to do this. You have to have been there to do it. And I have mothers call me from all over the country, and when they want to vent or, you know, air out their own personal stuff, and they call me, but I haven't lost a child, but they call me, and sometimes I feel guilty, you know, survivor's remorse sometimes. And you know, all of that kicks in, and sometimes I feel some kind of way at night when I lay my head, because even though I haven't lost a child yet, I know 24 hours a day that this is a possibility. That's the part. And working with all these families who have, I really have to stay on my prayer rug. I have to stay in my reading, and I have to really stay close to the Most High, because it can be overwhelming. So much pain that you take in, you know, and even if it's not directly yours, you know that it could be. That's the biggest part. It's not directly mine, but it sure could be at any given moment. It could be mine.
You know, I think the thing I also understand, and I feel and have felt it, it's my niece, right? This is my nephew. I might not even know the family, but to be able, you have to feel each other's pain, just like we enjoy and celebrate when something good happens. We're not detached from each other as brothers and sisters, as Minister Farrakhan teaches us. And you know, Sister Beatrice, I want to say, we will be taking calls, but I want to say that I always remark at the just how great it was to see Uncle Bobby move in, despite his own grief, and protect, obviously, right, his sister, Miss Wanda. You know, that was strength, that was manhood, because otherwise people would come, vultures would come, as they usually do, and try to misuse, or maybe in the line of trying to help the family, not doing it necessarily the right ways. With Miss Wanda, I think that he stripped that from those who would have had that intention, you know, to take advantage of his sister.
Yes, Minister Keith, because during the movement, before, Uncle Bobby came on the scene, I'm going to say about maybe February, March. Oscar was killed in January. He came on the scene as part of, which is unusual. Most family members don't get involved like he got involved. He started going to all the community meetings. He started, he just got in there. And then when we organized the community meetings with all the organizations across the street from the mosque at the cafe, he was really coming there, and we actually bore witness to him standing up and saying, no, that's my nephew, because trust me, they were going to hijack Oscar Grant, like so many have been hijacked before Oscar Grant. Many have died, but the activists have taken that loved one and they have ran with it without the family being involved. And I'm not saying this because I'm part of this family now. And let me be clear.
Yeah.
I never, ever met Oscar Grant. I only met him through his mother, us traveling down the highway. She telling me the stories about him. I only met him through the grandmother, my mother-in-law, who told me stories about him. Uncle Bobby, who told me stories. Videos that Uncle Bobby have that have never been seen that show the light of Oscar. I never knew him.
Yes.
But I had a son at the time of his murder that was 14 years old. And I wanted to see him past 22. And I could tell you, he's 23, but I could tell you at 22, that whole year, my life was like, I was praying all the time, you know, just maybe because I was part of that movement when Oscar was 22, and that 22 was so significant because his life was taken at that young, very age, that I followed my son through that process. And when he turned 22, I was like, oh, Allah, please let my son get through this year, 22. Because, and we have to live like that as black mothers and brown mothers. It's just unbelievable, the condition, on top of the oppression, the condition that we have to live in, bringing life onto the planet as black and brown mothers.
Wow.
It's atrocious. And it's a 24-hour. Those, like mothers and people who are involved in this movement to hold police accountable who haven't lost loved ones, our pain is there as well. Not because we can't even fathom such a thing. You know what I'm saying? We can't even touch the grasp of what it is, but on a daily basis, we face with it because we out here trying to hold police accountable. And we see families who are affected by it. We see I see my husband. I see my husband's family who are affected by a loved one being taken by state-sponsored murder.
Yeah, yeah. This is Liberated Sisters. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad. Our guest today, Sister Beatrice X of the Love Not Blood campaign. Sister Beatrice, we're going to take a call for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And the call-in number is 323-293-3375. Welcome to Liberated Sisters. Let's see who's on. Caller, you're on. We'll see what's going on with them. Call back. Sister Beatrice, tracking what you're saying, I just posted, prayers always for Miss Wanda Johnson and Tatiana. I remember emphatically the statement, Uncle Bobby saying that the Oscar Grant Foundation was created and the goals of it so that no other family would have to experience what their family was experiencing. And, okay, we're going to take the call and to see the numbers of people that are coming behind. But it could be more, but for the work of everyone. Sister Beatrice, we do have the call. Welcome to Liberated.
Yes,
welcome to Liberated Sisters.
Yes, hello. This is Sister Marcia, and I wanted to chime in and let Sister Beatrice know how much I appreciate all of her efforts and all the struggles that come before her and Brother Bobby regarding Love Not Blood campaign. It's not an easy task at all, by no means. And for all the mothers and the fathers who call and ask for assistance and help and all of just everything that they're doing, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you having grandsons and nephews and just knowing of your family and everything that you're going through, and just want you to stay strong through the struggle. And again, I hope that your health and your well-being holds up as well, because it's not an easy task, sister.
Thank you so much, Sister Beatrice.
Oh, thank you very much, Sister Marcia. I really appreciate the energy and power that comes from powerful sisters. I know Sister Marcia is a liberated sister as well, with many gifts and talents. And because of her gifts and talents, she moves around the universe a lot and can't really be in the community like she probably would want to be, but she's always a supporter, and she's always supporting all the fights. You have those people that's supporters from afar. You have those in the street, and you have those from afar. We need them all. And she is a special supporter of not just Love Not Blood campaign, but of many, many fights that's going on right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister, for calling.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
If you want to call, the number is 323-293-3375. Sister Beatrice, outside of Oakland, and what was working on the ground there with Oscar Grant and attending all of the different meetings, the town hall meeting, Minister Farrakhan himself came, and he had a leadership meeting with pastors and others, and also with the complete community. Talk a little bit about that, and also I want to jump into Ferguson. That's the other place where I really got an up close and personal look at how you and Uncle Bobby, Love Not Blood, impact families. And I'm going to just give a little backstory about why I'm saying Ferguson, because in the killing of Michael Brown Jr. by Darren Wilson there, I had not witnessed this before in the movement, in that anti-police violence movement. The love and the strength of Uncle Bobby, of Trayvon Martin's dad, Brother Tracy, and of Jordan Davis's dad. Oh my God. To see them wrap their arms around Michael Brown Sr. And in my view, he just fell in like he was home. But it was something. It was something to see how those men stood together and said, we're now here for you until you find your voice. But can you talk about those leadership meetings and the importance of unity when these things happen in the community, jumping out of Oakland?
Wow, that was such an incredible. I thank Allah every day for allowing me to witness that.
Yeah,
especially with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan coming to the Bay Area to address the murder of Oscar Grant. Unfortunately, the family wasn't able to attend because there was some miscommunications. You know, sometimes that happened when preachers might not want, family members to be involved with the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
But now Brother Cephas is Brother Cephas X. So you can never stop Allah's plan.
Uncle Bobby X, that's right. He is a registered member now of the Nation of Islam. You can never stop
Allah's plan. But unfortunately, the family was not able to meet the minister on that particular time.
Wow.
But the power, the leadership meeting at
was that a church? I forgot the name of the church.
Yes, it was his brother Zach's church, True Vine Missionary Church. The first one. There were two. True Vine Missionary Church happened in the daytime with all the black leadership, politicians, anybody who felt like they was somebody in Oakland was at this meeting with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And when I tell you the minister laid it out, when I tell you that even though the hardest of the hardest Negroes, right, were there in submission, the minister was speaking and they were listening, and the minister said, "Get up." And everybody just like they was being transformed by the mother plane, right? Everybody stood up. And the minister laughed. He said, "Not now."
I know, right?
It was so powerful.
I remember that. Yeah. He was saying, stand up, get up, resurrect.
He had the undivided attention of some of the hardest black people in Oakland who know everything and got the plan for everything and not willing to sit and listen. But that unity he brought in that True Vine Missionary Baptist Church, oh my, that moment when he said, "Stand up," and just the call of his voice, and everybody stood up, and he laughed. He said, "Not now." It was
so beautiful.
It was so beautiful, and I shall never ever forget that moment in time and how significant that was. And it just showed to me that I have sense enough to be with God's servant in our midst. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what that moment verified for me. The night was at Olivet Missionary Baptist Church, and the line was wrapped around the church. But was trying to get in to hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And really what he did, he gave Oakland marching orders. People don't like comprehend that or really admit that. But when he came to town, what he did that day and that night really propelled the movement of Officer Grant to move on. Because as you know, when something happens, people be blah, 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 and then it dies.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like had that not happened in February with the minister coming, I think it would have been a little different. That's just my personal opinion. Because what he did in there, he gave marching orders, not from himself, but from the Most High.
Yeah. I think also, thank you for that, Sister Beatrice. And also, I think we have a call on. We're going to take a call. And when we come back, I want to talk about also that the people turned up. I mean, the reality is the people's protest in Oakland made them go get go get Johannes Measurely and bring him back to face justice. But let's take a call and we'll get into that. Caller, you're on. Welcome to Liberated Sisters.
Good morning. How are you? My name is Charlene Bluford.
Oh.
I am the mother of Alan Bluford, who was murdered on May 6, 2012, of an Oakland police officer.
Oh, wow. Miss Bluford, are you able to turn your phone volume up, or can we turn her line? I could barely hear you, but welcome to the show. Thank you for calling.
Oh, thank you for having me. I've been enjoying the inspirational stories this morning, and it helps it to ignite a fire in me because, you know, when my son was murdered in Oakland, the city stood up. Thank God for Love Not Blood campaign. Thank God for the Oscar Grant Foundation, who came out and stood with us from day one. The thing is, with Oakland, there's a lot of people who do ambulance chasing. It's the story that's happening right now. Mm-hmm. But there's still a lot of work to be done, you know, with cold cases, with unsolved crimes. There's a lot of work in our community to be done. And my thing is that you can never give up. You just can't give up. You have to, you know, you fall, but you got to get back up again.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. and hear the minister of Farrakhan speak at the Million Men March, where he focused on families who had been slain. And he did give the charge to get up and fight back. Don't ever stop speaking. Don't ever give up. And so, you know, a lot of times I personally feel like giving up. But when you are inspired to get back up after you've been knocked down, because, you know, this system is real messed up. They do the families real cold-blooded. They do not stand with us. The officer that killed my child was, Oakland told him, you know, because he admitted that he did it. He admitted that he had post-traumatic stress disorder. And he also blamed the city. But he was also allowed to give a resignation. But he's at another city, pulling guns on teenagers, causing havoc in another community. And
wow,
I feel like that he should have been held accountable. He should have not been able to get another job. See, he didn't just, he murdered my son. But when he was an officer in New York, he beat an inmate, refused to get a hospital treatment for him. They just get, you know, they go around and are able to spew their evil.
Yeah.
And, you know, I heed the call. I do heed the call. We have to be champions of our community, stand up, fight back. Don't listen to what they say. Do our own investigation. Never stop speaking. Never stop quitting. Get out there and just give it back to them.
Yes,
and that's
ma'am.
where I am today.
Yes, ma'am. Wow, thank you so much. And, of course, our prayers and always prayers and condolences. And thanks for sharing a little snippet of your testimony. I posted your website, Justice for Alan Bluford. I posted it on the page. Everyone viewing and listening, please go there, Justice for Alan Bluford, for more information. Sister Beatrice?
Thank you, Charlene. Charlene is my little baby.
This is one of
She
the.
is funny. She always say, Auntie, I gotta talk to you. And she go, oh no, not listening, not listening, not listening. And I tell her to hold on to God's unchanging hand.
Yeah.
That's what I tell her. She's a fighter. Oh man, she can speak and she got that fire in her fight for her son. Oh, when you listen to her, she has that fire. She can move you, and you can tell she is not playing about her baby Alden Bluford. I always say that she is not playing.
Yeah.
And I know the struggle. I don't know the struggle personally, but I just, and I tell them all the time, these mothers just for getting up and getting out.
Yeah.
Man, I salute you.
Yeah. I want to
Getting up and getting out.
Yeah.
I salute you. I salute you for waking up, putting your foot on the ground. I saw Oscar's mother when we was waiting for the verdict. That week we were waiting for the verdict.
Yeah.
And we were at, even sometime when we were going to court, we would be rooming together.
Yeah.
I would see what it took for her to put her feet on the floor. She would just be calling on the Lord, calling on God, calling on Jesus, until she was able to put her feet on the floor and stand. I witnessed that.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I witnessed that. And so I just can't, for these mothers, I salute you. I salute you. Don't ever think that I don't respect you and salute you. I do.
Yes,
I really
ma'am.
do.
Come on now. I want to ask you, Miss Charlene, can you talk about what it means? And you touched on it in the beginning, but to have to walk into this, but having someone who has experienced this or is able to show some of the pitfalls that can be avoided, or just a loving arm. Can you talk about how that has helped you to this day?
Well, it's really hard because in the beginning, when they take your child from you, they always victimize the victim.
Yeah.
They start talking about, oh, he did this or he did that, and they try to make this victim that they killed look like a bad person.
Yeah.
And that was happening in the newspaper with Henry Scott, the Tribune, all of that. They did not even talk to the family before they start bashing my son's character. So I knew then that he wasn't there to speak, and I had to be his voice. So I began to tell the community, I began to tell the mayor, the city attorney, the police captain, who Alden Bluford was. Allen was 18 years old. He had a job. He was a black man who understood about being black, that he had constitutional rights. He got up every day and went to school. He had a 3.0 grade point average. And you want to sit up and tell stories in the newspaper to deter the community from uniting and standing up against the injustice, the genocide of our black brothers and sisters. It's not just boys. It's girls. They don't have it's babies. These bullets that are taking our child's life, we don't have gun manufacturers. We don't have bullets, but they send them in our communities, whether it's law enforcement or if it's community violence, and they tear away our community. And they want us to fall apart. That's how they use the ammunition to assault us as a family. But what happens is you are sick. You can't sleep. You can't put your feet on the ground. You can't get up. You're crying all the time. You have to be able to do all of that.
Yeah.
Do all of that. Now, I know it was the grace of God who covered me. I know it was the prayers of the righteous that availeth much. So I know who I had behind me and who was with me. So I had to get up and speak for my son. I had to get up and look at those monsters in their eyes and say, hey, you will not do my boy like that. And I'm here today to tell you that when you fall, you got to get back up. And it's not just like physically getting back up. It's heart, mind, soul, body, all that has to get back up. It's very disheartening because that's the tool that they use to separate us, is to start saying bad things about this one or bringing up that about the families or not being able to reach out and say, look, we know we were wrong. This is what's happened. Let's make policy change. Let's make it better so this doesn't happen again. It's the work of the enemy, and he's under our feet, and we walk all over him. And, you know, it's just the fight that's inside. That's what helps you. And if God is in your heart, he will help you.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Charlene. Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for calling the show. Sister Beatrice, and God be with you always. Continue blessings in your fight for justice. Sister Beatrice?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what we want to do is I want to let people get a word from our sponsor. Our show today is brought by a very generous community champion, activist, peacekeeper, gang interventionist, and their organization. So let's hear from Dr. Akil Bashir and his critically acclaimed Community Violence Certification Training and Development Institute. This is PCITI International. We'll be back, Sister Beatrice, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Make no doubt about it, this was a civil war.
The streets is just sucking up our youth.
It's sad.
There's only one thing I was able to give my son, and that was a headstone.
Gang crime is completely out of control.
The LAPD had thrown their hands up. They didn't know what to do.
We had to come up with something we had never seen before. And that was forming a collaboration with some of the most violent and evil rivals in the streets of Los Angeles.
We supposed to be the elite peacekeeping team.
So we're going to grow this thing, we all got to do this thing together.
All the leaves of brown.
A person that has a license to operate is a liaison between rival gangs and law enforcement.
And the sky.
It's front lines, man. It's crazy out here. You gotta watch your back.
Did we turn our community into a war zone like this? If we don't change our kids in our communities, no one will. Most people don't give a damn.
You can stop those wars because people listen to you.
They were from that community. They were the most valuable players.
I'll be safe and warm.
They have been there in the middle of the night after we've had a shooting.
You be safe, brother.
If I were in LA.
You learn the most from the teacher that demands the most from you. So I'm gonna push you, because I know it's inside of you.
When I was growing up, I didn't have nobody to help me. That's what I'm trying to do with you now.
You're going to meet kids, you're going to lose kids.
Check your mirror, put your seatbelt on, go ahead and make a right turn.
Went to the church. Yes, I did.
In 1992, we had 1,300 murders. 3 years, we've had under 300.
People depend on us.
So it's 1,000 kids out there that's walking around that I can say you help.
LA be the model for other parts of the world. I really believe that.
So one thing I would like someone to say about me when that time comes is that I was man enough to stand up for change.
Somebody help me. We are one team. We are one team.
That's Dr. Akil Bashir and Community Violence Certification Training and Developmental Institute. PCITI International. The website is PCITI.net. We really appreciate the support, but the key for them is we have a war that we're fighting on two fronts. So these are some of the gang interventionists, gang activists, the peacekeepers who are working worldwide, not just here in L.A. County, to solve this. So thank you, Dr. Akil Bashir. Sister Beatrice, you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
All right. Liberated Sisters continues. Let's take a call for you. You're on.
Hi. My name is Yolanda Banks Reed. I'm the mother of a murdered son that was murdered by Joseph Matu. His name was Charlene Tyndall.
Assalamu alaikum.
Shalom to you and assalamu alaikum.
Oh, wow. Welcome, sister. Thank you for calling in.
You're quite welcome.
Sister Beatrice?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to greet her before we get into what happened?
Shalom, my dear sister.
Shalom to you, my sister.
I met you. It was brief, but I witnessed you and your family and the community at the event that Love Not Blood and others had here with Beatrice, remind me. There's so
1421.
Yeah. And your testimony before this statewide board.
Thank you, yes.
I have to post that. Sister, can you update us on what's happening with your son and that fight for justice? And what happened to him?
You know, they say, what is justice to you? Well, you know, we know it's a wide variety of what justice is.
Yes.
But just to be able to receive some type of conviction or arrest or fired from his job, I mean, the list goes on and on. But we've been protesting. We were at the Capitol July 31st, and we were there from 10 to 5. And I was at the Capitol yesterday, and I was protesting at the DA's office, the Attorney General as well. And, you know, a person say, well, why are you at the Capitol? It happened in West Oakland. Well, I can't get any response from Nancy O'Malley, who is the district attorney for Alameda. So I'm going to a higher authority, which is the governor, the Attorney General, next in line. And so you end up having to go to someone higher than just the DA that's holding the position for that particular county. And so I wanted to be said, what are these people here for? I want them to call her up and say, hey, this happened in your neck of the woods, not ours. So she's going to be made pressure to do something about it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And her son, sister's son, is 28, everybody, and he was killed near Bart Station. This is Bart.
Yes, Bart.
Go ahead, Sister Beatrice.
Yeah, but I told him, I told Roja, who was the chief at the Bart Station, I said, until you be right by us, our people, I said, this is going to continue to happen. And then it's going to turn into your children. And so it's been escalating since, you know, and calling this man a hero. How do you call a man a hero for taking a life? My son was walking with his 2 children and his companion on his way to Bart. I'm sure he didn't have no thought that life would be taken that day.
Thank you. I understand.
This is what I want to say about Bart. Bart has to be held accountable. Bart is one of the most rogue, corrupt entities that we have in the Bay Area. They do stuff and then they try to hide their hand with great publicists. They hurt families and then they try to hide their hand with great publicists. I say, now we have Oscar Grant, the 10-year anniversary is coming up. They humming. They don't want to put the mirror up, talking about put a canvas up, taped up or something. They don't want to change the name. The name should have been changed. It's going to be 10 years. I think they should have a mural at MacArthur Bart for the baby, Nia, and I think they should have one at West Oakland for Charlene. I personally want that. I want to see that. Do something, Bart. Do something to show us. Do something, because they are so wicked. I have a real problem with Bart because they're not being held accountable. They kill, they lie, they kill, and they lie, and then you can't keep an 18-year-old safe and protected, and you didn't even find that man. Somebody had to call you and tell you where he was, and he was right on your Bart line. Bart ain't, you know what?
She's talking about John Lee Cowell. He is a transient that killed, brutally murdered Nia Wilson and tried to, attempted murder, stabbed her sister Latifah. This was on July 22nd. I think that was the incident date. And you went to Nia's funeral. Nia's funeral was held on Friday, was it, Beatrice?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Yeah, she's speaking about that case, everyone. It is in the Final Call at finalcall.com, as well as more information on Salim. Both of you, we have just about another 5 minutes. Sister, let Sister Yolanda, you go ahead and make your...
I just want to say that You know, when my son had his service, which is a ceremony rite, from one passage to the next, just as you have ceremony rites when they come in, they have, you know, age, coming of age, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs. He went through all of this. And then his ceremony rite, you know, we had African dancers, we had music, the drums, we had the carriage.
Yeah.
But I cried so hard at that particular time because I said to myself, this should have been for Black history in the streets of San Francisco. There was a lot of people that came out. They were dancing in the streets. I said, this should have been for Black History Month, not for the death of my son.
I understand, Sister. I want to have you go on further. I think, Sister Beatrice, we definitely need to come back and perhaps let her, and as well as some of the other mothers who want to have more time, just have the show, really let them pour out and give their message to the people, because we have to wrap right now. I'm going to let you have a few of the final words, Sister Beatrice, but Sister Yolanda, thank you for that. And just
thank you.
Yeah, Sister, thank you so much. Your presence is so great. Your stature is so great. I'll never forget you. I'll never forget what I experienced with you. Sister, thank you, Sister. Shalom.
And shalom, and I appreciate you, Beatrice, for calling me to have me a part of this radio.
Wonderful.
On the air. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All praises due to Allah. Sister Beatrice, the time goes so fast. Oh, my God.
It does. I was like, it's just about 10 o'clock, right? It is. When you're in this struggle, that's what that's what happens. But I want to thank you again, and I want to thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I also want to thank Brother Richard Muhammad, the chief editor of the Final Call, because he has, along with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I think I wrote that on Facebook today, they have seen the Oscar Grant movement through and through, from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And they continue their love by, we had an unsung hero, and Brother Richard came out. He was a awardee, but he also came out and participated, and he shared that love. And we were able to give over 66 awards.
Wow.
And we gave those awards to those who have helped us from the time Uncle Bobby started the Oscar Grant Foundation to the 4 years in the Love Not Blood campaign.
Yeah.
We just wanted to thank everyone who has supported us and who had helped us. And, of course, we wanted to give the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan an award, but we know he wasn't going to be there because he got so much work to do. We did not want to bother him, but he was the first one on our list, especially for me, because I can tell you, I would not be able to get up. I would not be able to move around this universe without the love of Master Farad Muhammad, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Minister Farrakhan. And I'm not privy to forget that for 1 second.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I shatter in myself at the thought of not having that knowledge and that wisdom and the true knowledge of God and self given to us by Master Farad Muhammad, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and their divine reminder in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes.
Words can't express it, or I wouldn't be right here with you, that's for sure. So I thank you, Minister Farrakhan. We love you, and thank you for keeping us. And, you know, the words he shared with us last week, it just helps you. You can be in the darkest hole. All you got to do is put that minister on, just get the studies.
Yeah.
And pull yourself up. I do that. And this work is so hard it can drain you.
Yeah.
But I thank Allah for his mercy and grace in giving us the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And you, Sister Charlene, thank you. We have traveled these roads. Ooh, you my little baby too.
Yes, ma'am, big sister. Yeah, thanks for showing me the ropes on the ground.
We've been to Sundance. We've been to Ferguson, and we didn't get to Ferguson because time is so short. But in a couple of days, it's going to be the anniversary of our brother Mike Brown, August 9th.
Come back
Ferguson.
for my next show. Come back on. We'll do it this month. Come back.
We'll talk about the movement, because it's still moving, and we'll talk about our baby, because our motto at Love Not Blood campaign is always about the children. So that baby Nia being murdered like that, and I have been privileged to kind of counsel her sister, Queen Latifah, I call her, because she's really a beautiful soul.
How is she
doing? I told her, Allah spared you. He has use for you. He has use for you. That's why you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. How is she doing? I mean, considering what's happening.
Well, she tell me, and she say, I'm making it through. We kind of talk on a daily basis. She say, I'm making it through. Yeah. That's what she says. Praise I'm making it through.
Yeah, and you're right. And thank you for highlighting that. See, we didn't get into a lot of the details of the cases, but yeah, you know, slashed her and her sister's throat, and was able to be still on the trains, riding the trains.
Right in the vicinity. He wasn't looking for him. The baby told us personally that the man stabbed him and stood in the corner and watched. And it wasn't until a Caucasian girl on the train went to go chase after him that he left. He stood there and watched them babies suffer.
Yeah. We're going to, Beatrice, we're on again on the third Tuesday. I know you got to check your book, but would you come back?
Yes, ma'am. Inshallah. I would love to.
Inshallah.
And how many times am I able to say no to you, Sister Charlene?
None. I love you so much. I'm going to wrap the show. You get to stay right there while we say goodbye to everybody. But thank you again, Sister Beatrice, for being on today.
Thank you. And people get liberated.
Yeah, you're incomparable in what you do in the care and the support. And I see the pain that it brings, and I also see the few moments of laughter that you all may be able to muster up in your travels to help family after family after family, the group of families. And let's not forget Deanna Hardy. You know, I can't call the roll. Because there's so many on the road,
and we cannot for another a whole 48, a whole week to call the roll.
And we cannot forget one.
Deanna Hardy, who will be in Los Angeles, inshallah, with us on the 24th. We will be doing the Left Forum. Okay. So those in Los Angeles, if you want to come out and hear some of these families coming from all over the country, we will be in Los Angeles at LA Tech. At the West Coast Forum, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
so,
you can get that
thank
online.
You, Sister Charlene.
Thank
May
you.
Allah continue to bless you and keep you on your post.
Thank you. Inshallah. I love you, sis.
I love you too. Assalamu alaikum.
So thank you again to Sister Beatrice. Thank you, Dr. Akil Bashir and Community Violence Certification Training and Developmental Institute. Tremendous thanks to Sister Felicia, the Poetess Morris, and Morris Media Studios for hosting Liberated Sisters right here. Read more about the Netflix cancellation controversy and subscribe to The Final Call at finalcall.com. How dare you cancel Farrakhan, but that's okay. Visit NOI.org for Minister Farrakhan's lectures, those of his National Assistant Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad, and his ministers across the country. You may follow Minister Farrakhan on Facebook. Do yourself a favor. Follow Minister Farrakhan on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and again, visit LCTWmusic.com to order his box set, Let's Change the World. In the words of our Western Region representative and great champion for people, Brother Tony Muhammad, meet me at the mosque this Sunday and every Sunday at 8701 South Vermont at Manchester. Doors open at 10:30. Lecture starts at 11. Visit Minister Tony's Facebook page for his recent series on the origins of psychiatry and the damaging effects of psychotropic drugs. Liberated Sisters will be here on the third Tuesday this month, also on radiojustice.org on Friday at 8 a.m. and kpfk.org 90.7 FM every second and fourth Saturday. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad saying if it's impacting our community or can uplift us as a people, let's talk about it. Peace.